Thank you guys for coming. I think it's cool that we all can get together and go over these rifles and how they can be customized the way that you envision them. If you're a guy that buys a rifle off the shelf, you get what you get. And the cool thing about the engineering of this platform is a lot of times you can, kind of make it your own. So we're going to go through building these things to show you how modular they truly are and how you can kind of individually kind of make them your own for what you're needing them for. It's like what makes a golf club better than another golf club. What's better for you may not be better for someone else, but someone like myself that have shot a lot of guns professionally and not professionally, just for fun. I know what I'm looking for, and we really concentrate on having a smooth cycling platform while suppressed, because that's where everyone's kind of going. It's where a lot of my customers already have been for a long time, and running NATO pressure ammo. So with that in mind, whenever you suppress a system, you have to beef up the system a little bit, because it's a little harder on the gun when you do that. So we really concentrated on barrel material, bolt carrier groups, as far as the material and the tempering of them, really focusing on not so much uniqueness, but uniqueness in material solutions. We'll start off with building the upper receiver group. Typically in an upper receiver group, it consists of the upper receiver, the bolt carrier group, gas block, barrel, charging handle, ejection port covered by Magpul. And in my opinion, the most important thing in a rifle, especially the upper receiver group, is the barrel. So the barrels that we use have a proprietary steel in them. They're cold hammer forged and chrome lined. Hammer forged process is, there's a little bit of a black art to it. It takes a long time. You can't just buy a hammer forged machine and decide that you're going to start hammer forging barrels. There's a lot of expertise and a lot of engineering that goes into it. You can get a print and say, this is how I want my barrel done, but doing it and then making it accurate, making it last a long time, takes years of engineering and years of experience. Not all barrels are considered equal. We're proud of ours. We continue to develop ours in 13 years into the business, and we try to continue to improve on it. But the barrels we have, again, are a proprietary vanadium alloy of carbon steel, and they're basically machine gun barrels. Our barrels are hard use barrels, and they last a really long time. And by virtue of that, they're also expensive. We pay for a little bit extra process in the process of the making the barrel, whether it's an extra step in honing or a criteria that we maintain after air gauging it and saying, okay, this is the spec that it gauged to. We're going to call this, and we're going to keep that. And ultimately, we probably have a little bit higher attrition based on just what our spec is. All right, from the probably the most important part of the upper receiver, it gets to the next part, which is the bolt carrier group. Again, all bolt carrier groups are not necessarily made equal. 8620 carrier, properly heat treated 9310 bolt, properly staked, properly gassed, properly weighted. These particular bolt carrier groups typically go on a Mod 2. What we're building today is kind of a hybrid between a Mod 1 and a Mod 2. We always call them the 1.5s. We have two different models, so AU Mod 1 and AU Mod 2. AU Mod 1 is more mil-spec standard type of receiver groups, and then the guts that we put in it are typically Mod 2 guts. But this would be like a Mod 2 bolt carrier group. What this bolt carrier group offers you is a little bit more weight in the tail end of the carrier, which can help with balancing the weight of the gun in the way of not necessarily the weight this way, but the weight as far as this coming back and cycling through the operation of the weapon. And sometimes the more mass that you have, depending on whether or not you're going to be suppressed or unsuppressed, type of ammo you're shooting, can affect the way how the gun runs, fast, slow, or whatever. Adding a little bit more weight in conjunction with how we port our gas system our buffer weights, our spring weights. It's what we call tuning a gun. So this helps in our process of that. Also, with all of our guns, everything is also cross-compatible to the mill standard. So if something goes sideways and you need a quick fix, you can go to wherever company that has good quality components, and nothing's so proprietary you can't use something commercial off the shelf. Then we go into the upper receiver. These particular upper receivers are forged. All of our receivers are forged in both Mod 1s and Mod 2s. This is forged out of 7075 with a T6 temper, and it's a mill standard forge. One of the things we do different is decrease the diameter of where the barrel extension goes. From a manufacturer assembly perspective, it can be kind of a pain in the butt because it's super tight. Oftentimes we have to thermal fit these barrels into these uppers. And what that means is we actually have to heat up the upper to expand the alloy. So it opens up a little bit to get the barrels inside. What that does for you, it's just a little bit more of a secure fit in the rifle, number one, and number two, it does enhance accuracy. Folks that typically buy my guns or I contract with, they put a lot of rounds on their guns. Our guns often see over 30,000 rounds, and in its life cycle, it's not the standard M4A1 typically gets deadline between 6,000 and 10,000 rounds. Ours are 3 times the life. So, you know, when you're training that much and you're shooting that much and you're honing your skill and employing the rifle, as a lot of professionals do, they do that with a lot of shooting. And logistically, if I can keep them in the same gun for a longer period of time, they don't have to disturb their training. And they get to shoot the same platform they're used to in the way that's set up that they're used to longer. They get to know the gun a little bit better if they can continue to shoot it longer. Charging handles, lots of great companies out there that do charging handles. Typically on Mod 1s, we use a ambi charging handle as well as Mod 2s, so they're just a different style. Our ejection port covers, God, man, I loved it when he came out with these. Typically in the past, when you use a mill standard ejection port cover, you have to remove the barrel nut to get it installed properly. And these just make this, if you forget that you've done it, you don't have to break down your barrel, retime everything with your barrel nut and your gas tube and all that. These just pop on super easy, and they're very durable, and you can get them in different colorways. The forward assist, we developed a forward assist in conjunction with Forward Controls Design. These are billet stainless steel. What we've done different, I've always been kind of a retro guy, so I love the teardrop forward assist, and those that know the brand knows that that's typically what you get on a Hodge Defense rifle. But what we've done with our forward assist is we turned it sideways and got it closer to the receiver. So it's a forward assist turned sideways. It's not a cast part. It's a billet steel part in stainless, nitrided finish. It's just the little touches like that I think separate us from other folks. Other folks do a lot of neat stuff as well, but this is some of our signatures are the little parts, the little attention to detail in the builds that we do and that you guys are going to be experiencing as well. And that kind of covers the upper receiver component-wise. And as we get into the build, we'll talk about our methodology in building the guns, but we'll try to keep this as straightforward and as simple as possible to where you guys can understand what we're doing and why we're doing it.